Welcome back to the 95 Truckin' Podcast, the go to show for small carriers, truck drivers, investors, and business owners in the trucking industry. Today, we're diving into an important and powerful topic: women in trucking. Trucking has long been a male dominated industry, but more and more women are stepping up and proving that they have what it takes on the road and in the business. So today we'll talk about the challenges, opportunities, and the future for women in trucking. If you're a woman thinking about getting into the industry or a business owner just looking to build a more inclusive team, this episode is for you. And today I'm not riding solo. I have my beautiful co-host Melissa Tejeda with me, which is an experienced driver and works for the acclimated Costco's and many other different big companies. So Melissa, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
So we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to just dive right in. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like for women in the trucking industry. So Melissa, would you like to state some like facts about women in the industry now?
Well, I've had a great experience being in the trucking industry. I've never really had any issues. Some facts. Sometimes we're not respected. Sometimes we're not acknowledged, or people may think that oh, she thinks she's gonna get a better treatment just because she's a female. But no, we're just here to work like everybody else.
Right. And one of the facts that I wanted to share is that women make about 12% of the trucking workforce and is growing. And then more and more female-owned trucking companies are emerging, like myself. I've been in the industry for 10 years now. It's going to be my 10th year anniversary in September. And then
Happy anniversary. That's
thank
super
you.
dope.
Hold on, check us out. And then also, women, did you know that women have lower accident rates and higher retention in the industry?
For sure, because we're patient. I'm not going to say, but we all know that women can do it better.
Absolutely, absolutely. No shade to the men,
Right.
And this is not like a radical feminist show. Like, I just want to clear that this is all about just having equality in the industry, being able to get paid, just like our counterparts, every all the males in the industry, and just claiming our respect. We're trying just like everyone else, and we're working as hard, if not harder, than men in this industry. So that's a little bit about what we want to talk about and what we want to share, just so that everyone could get acclimated and start accepting and like really building the norm for women in the industry. Melissa, so why do you think that more women are getting into the industry now?
I think because of the independence, the financial stability, and just because they want to be boss babes, I guess. But the reason why I got into it was because of the freedom that it can provide.
Right, competitive pay,
Right.
independence.
Right.
We got flexible schedules. So for those who are moms and have children, and then also like a push for diversity. Like being a woman,
Right.
especially a Latina woman in the industry, is a big deal. And we've had other interviews and things of that nature in big networks, like what we were like in NBC before, and we
And
kind of
Univision.
yes, Despierta America, and we spoke about being a Latina woman in the industry, and it was really interesting, but we just want to kind of like represent for everyone out there and encourage more women to come into the industry and get into trucking. So let's talk about a little bit about challenges women face in the trucking industry. Melissa.
Challenges. For me, in particular, the biggest challenge is the restroom. Finding a clean restroom, or, having one available at the time that I need it. It's a man's world. So I can't just handle my handle like men do. So bathroom availability is a major, major problem for sure.
How do you feel like you like how do you feel about your safety, like as a driver, as a woman driver? Do you find like, places that are like friendly, woman friendly, or do you like try to find like places that have a lot of light? And I know that you were a team driver before.
Right.
Like she was a team driver working with another man. Like, how do you feel about that? Like about your safety and
That was actually my first experience as a truck driver. I started with FedEx Ground, like she said, driving team, and thankfully, I never felt uncomfortable. He was very respectful, and he made it super easy for me. In reference to like rest stops and stuff, like I've never had a bad experience, like that I feared for my life. I also try to be smart about where I park. Like I'm not gonna park in any dark areas. If I did pull up to a truck stop when it was dark, I made sure that while I was driving in the daytime, I had everything I needed in the truck, so I wouldn't exit the truck if it was nighttime. So people wouldn't know that I was a female. So that's were some of the ways I kept myself safe. But I've never had a bad experience, thank God.
Thank God, yeah, because that's really important, and I think that's the fear for many women too.
Right.
Just being out there by yourself, especially at night. As a fleet owner, I feel like for me, some of like my worries were being taken advantage of, like like from like mechanics, buying. I'm buying parts. They're selling my parts and putting the wrong parts in. They're overcharging me for their labor work and the parts. Especially like, this is not like somewhere that you can come in and be naive. Like, you have to be aware that, these people around you, not everyone is there to help you. And unfortunately, once you get a certain age, like you can't look at men as dad or this is my friend or this is, oh, he cares about me. Like most of these men have other motives, like on other
Right.
intentions. And like even when you don't lead with your sexuality or anything like that, things can get misconstrued. And I had experiences like with people in this industry, and Melissa's my witness, that, you know, next thing you know, like a male has resentment for you for things that you didn't even engage in or you didn't even participate or even entertain like the slightest bit. So it's really important to like, know people's intentions, be very straightforward and really like, know what you
Put
want.
that
And
borderline, like that respect line, like this is strictly business.
absolutely, because some men will look at you and like they won't want your money. They will want something else. So you really have to, make sure you set that boundary and, be about your business. And I know like a lot of like women in trucking, like we have a lot of women like twerking in their trucking, in their trucks and stuff like that and leading with, their sexual, feminine, natural thing. No, we're not judging, this is
We listen and we don't judge.
we
We're not
listen,
judging.
we
To
watch
each
it, we
his
don't
own-
judge.
Right, to each his own. But men
Yeah.
can take that
As a way to like
open. You opening a door that you might not
For-
want to be open.
exactly, and some of the respect is left, behind because of that. So I mean, I just feel like if you're using that for bait or like, we understand that sex sells and as a woman you have your own power, but make sure that you're using it for something, more valuable, like
That
more
attracts-
meaningful.
A certain attention. Everybody knows that. If you're leading that way, you're gonna get attention. You can't get upset if, you're approached a certain way. But I think if you were to carry yourself with a little bit more respect, then maybe, that would happen. And again, no shade to anybody. Y'all do what y'all do. But we have to respect ourselves first in order for everybody else to respect us.
Absolutely. And that's just like part of like, mentoring and we're saying these things from like the heart because we care. We care about our community as women in the industry, and we need to find more female friendly trucking and stick together and really like support each other because not only like the sexual thing, but there are like sexism and racism are very present and very real in this industry. So like there might be times that you encounter relationships that might diminish your work or might diminish your value because someone thinks less of you. and
Right.
and it can be for different reasons. There's a lot of hate in the world, so making sure that you have a community of people that really have your back, of women that have your back, that understand where you're coming from, is very important. And this is why we're doing episodes like this, to let you know and make you aware that we're here, that we got your back, that when these brokers talk to you and curse at you, that is not right, that is harassment, and that we can, you know, fight back together, and if we stick together. So nevertheless, I just want to let you guys know that, I have a company, Hall Run Inc., that's very female friendly. Melissa has been driving for so long. She has so much experience, and she knows how to handle herself as a female in the industry. So if you guys want to ever reach out to any of us for mentorship or for some advice, or just for
We're here.
troubles that
We're
you're
available.
having, we're here. Absolutely. So yeah, so that is, like, some of the most important things. Now I know that we addressed some of the ways that, we can stick together, be safe. Let's talk about some of the opportunities in trucking for women. Melissa, do you want to kind of like touch on that? I know, driver is one of them. We can do.
Right. Trucking is not only about driving. There's so many different departments and businesses that you can get into in the trucking industry, in the transportation industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be driving. You can get into dispatching, you could get into logistics, you can get into warehousing. The trucking transportation industry is like a tree. Like, it has so many different branches, and if you educate yourself properly, you can grow. You don't have to be on the road. You don't necessarily have to be a truck owner. You can go into, like myself, I'm driving for Costco now, and Costco offers so many great benefits. And I call it soft girl trucking, because it's super easy,
Okay,
Uh,
soft girl trucking.
and we love soft girl trucking, because I do understand that over the road, like I did over the road, I did team, it's a hard life. And if you're a mother like myself, soft girl trucking might be the way for you. So again, like, it's not only about driving. There's so many different branches in the transportation industry that if you educate yourself and you do your due diligence, you'll be able to progress and grow.
Absolutely. There's so much room. There's so many things to do. I know everyone asks me, like, what should I do, or how do I get into the trucking industry? And it really all boils down to what you want to do, what you're passionate for, right? I know that some girls just want to get their CDLs and drive, and you can figure out how do you want to drive. Like, again, there's local
Driving
work.
is definitely an adventure. I was born here. I lived here all my life, and I've never visited the places that I visited since I started driving for FedEx Ground. Like, never. So that was super cool. I actually missed the road. So who's to say that in the future you guys won't see me driving across country, exploring new places? It's definitely an adventure for sure.
It's a road trip.
Right.
We get your kids. Bring your kids along with you in the back of your truck if you decide to buy your own truck. But there's so many, like, women entrepreneur now in the trucking industry. I know, like, there's women that own a fleet of trucks. There's women that own rest stops. Rest stops are, where the drivers go to, like, take a shower and buy maybe parts or something like
And
that.
do we need rest stops?
We-
We don't need no more drivers. We definitely need more rest areas for the truckers, for
There's-
sure.
Right. There's women into, the oil field, the diesel for the trucks. There's women in dispatching where, you're dispatching multiple trucks. There's women in
Fleet management.
fleet management.
Your office girl.
Warehousing,
right.
the ports. There's so many different ways and avenues, and opportunities for you out there. You just have to kind of like find what it is that you want, and don't wait. Like, just get into it. Especially if, like, you've been thinking about it. Like, don't wait. Just get into it, and you'll find your way along the way. Like, again, this is like my 10th year, and now is that I've been kind of like, steady for with a place or
And
a
you have
lane.
experience in different lanes.
And I had
You started
experience
where?
with box
Exactly.
trucks to dump trucks, from dump trucks to dry vans, and that's where I stood, like,
You were
in the dry
testing the
vans.
waters, and this is you find
Test
your
your
niche.
waters, and you got to focus, like, let all distractions go. I know as women we have children, we have love lives, we have family, but like, right now there's nothing to do but to focus on yourself and focus on making sure that you are building a future for yourself. Making sure that you have an income that's coming in, making sure that you're preparing for retirement. If you have a family, making sure that you're leaving something behind for your family, whether that's through a trust or through a business. Like, make sure that we are really,
Setting our family up.
yep, and empowering ourselves. And when you fill your cup, you're able to overflow. And as a woman, that's very important to find your own. And again, it's not this is not a battle against men. This is no shade to men. This is no discrediting what men do. This is just about getting what you're worth, getting what you deserve, and really, like, just having equality between men and women. It doesn't mean that we're gonna go out and do all the hard work that men do. Like, we're not built
We
like
need
that.
we need the men also. We
Yeah,
definitely need the men
absolutely.
for sure. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. Are you gonna get rich overnight? Absolutely not. If you're just in it, that's another thing. If you're just gonna get into trucking for the money, we all do the work we do for the money. But you gotta have some kind of passion. You gotta really be
You
into
have to have
it.
a why. Why are you doing
Right.
this? Like, for who?
Because it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be hard. You're not gonna get rich overnight. It's definitely gonna take hard work, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you want to work for yourself, you want to be your own boss. Everybody has it confused. Oh, I want to be my own boss, so I can have this freedom. Yeah, you'll have it eventually. You're not gonna have it overnight because guess what? You're your own boss. You have to work to build your business 24/7, so that business can work for itself, and then you could have earn your leisure and stuff like that. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be overnight. You need to know your why, and you need to have a plan.
I always say real bosses take losses. So if you're not ready for that loss,
Right.
make sure you stack up.
Listen, I started driving for FedEx Ground. Then after that, I wanted to fly before I learned how to walk. I went into dispatching. I learned the whole back office part of the business. Then I decided to go and get my own truck. I didn't even last a year, and that's the God honest truth. I wasn't ready. I wanted to do it super fast, and unfortunately, I did business with bad people that weren't very honest. And because I'm a female, I got taken advantage of. It's not all their fault because, again, I made the choices that I made, but I learned my lesson super quick. Super quick. And guess what? I decided to join a company that can provide me with stability until I figure out my next move. Don't just jump into trying to be a business owner. If you're freshly into the transportation game, get employed by, if you want to get into dispatching, get employed by a dispatching company. If you want to start driving, get employed by a company that's going to teach you the way to drive properly,
Yeah, join a team. Join a team that
You
knows
have to
exactly
learn.
what your intentions are. Like, you're here to learn, and you want to learn as from the business as much as you can. And you're not there forever. Be intentional. Like, let them know what your vision is, and join people that kind of like support that. If somebody's telling you, oh, you got to sign contracts with us and you got to stay for this long, like, maybe that's not for you if you're trying to be on your own. But if you don't mind working for a certain amount of time and getting steady income, then maybe that's the way for you. But it's hard when you're first getting in as a driver, because a lot of people don't trust, like, new drivers with their equipment, because you're driving a heavy duty equipment. I had multiple drivers, new drivers that I gave opportunity to, and they crash right away. So like, it's hard for small carriers. But
And if you ruin your license, your CDL that you worked so hard to get, that you paid a lot of money to get, once you have an accident, it will be super hard for you to get accepted by any insurance. So why risk it like that? You've paid all this money, you sacrificed your time, go to a big carrier, get your experience, a year, I say minimum 2 years. And then in that 2 years, don't just be driving.
yeah, watch
Educate
our
yourself.
first episode. Our first episode, we talk a lot about how to get in and how long you should go, and big carriers. We name a lot of big carriers that
Right.
take brand new drivers if that's the way you want to go. But
Ask the questions. Educate yourself in that time that you're driving for somebody, because, social media and the internets have glamorized being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's super hard work. And if you do it the wrong way, you might lose your mind. And that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
Educate yourself, ask the questions, network, and gain experience from the people that have been in the business.
But even if you do get into it and you fall, it's not about, you falling. It's about how fast you can get up.
You
So,
fall
like,
and you get up. You dust it off.
just dust yourself off and try again. Aaliyah's voice.
Trucking, truckers move America. Everything that you have on your table in Walmart and Target, anywhere, truckers get it there. So transportation will be here for a very, very, very long time. And almost everything moves on trucks.
Right.
You
So
would be surprised of the things that truckers move.
it's a $1 trillion industry,
Right.
and there is job security here. So again, if any woman out there is looking to get into this industry, this is your confirmation that you should. You should come on. The road is open. It's a big industry. So many things to do. Just
You know what's funny? I was doing a delivery yesterday, and this lady and her husband, like, I was there waiting to park at the dock door, and she's like smiling at me, so I'm saying hi. She's like, "Oh my God, go women truckers!" I was like, "Yay, go women truckers!" And then she's like, me and my husband been thinking about getting our CDLs. I told her, I was like, "Get it."
Absolutely.
Like that, I think when I see these couples online, driving together, like, I think that is so dope. Like, I follow a couple, they actually take their son with them, and they homeschool him, and they're like having an adventure, traveling all over the country. They're working, their son is going to school. So, like, if you have a partner and you guys are tired of your current life and you want to, go ahead, get your CDL. You can definitely do it with your significant other.
No. Power couple.
Right. Like, that would be super, super, super dope, I think. I love seeing that.
Go ahead, Charles. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps up our episode for today. So if you enjoyed today's episodes, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.
Hit that like button too.
Yes, leave some comments. Let us know what you guys, the questions you guys have or what you want to hear. And follow us on social media. On Instagram, we are the Trucking Podcast, the 95 Trucking Podcast. Sorry. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Like, follow, share, subscribe.
If you would like for us to talk about anything, if you want to
come on the show.
Right.
Who wants to come on the show?
I have a few female truckers on my page, on my the Trucking Barbie page. I'm gonna hit them up and see if they want to come on the show and talk about their experience and why they got into the trucking industry, for sure.
Is there any females truckers that you are really looking at, admire right now on Instagram?
I really mess with all of them. I follow this girl. I think her name is Robin. My girl Lena, also from La 95 Trucking Show. She's killing it in the port. She moved out over there to Atlanta, Georgia. We could definitely have her as a guest. She goes
Spanish
super hard
version.
for sure.
Yes.
Well, there's definitely a few of them. But we should definitely for sure have Lena on the show. So, she
So
can tell
shout
us
out to all the female truck drivers.
Yes.
This episode is for you. We're representing you.
we love you. We support you.
We got your back. So
Right.
let us know if you'd like to hear anything else. But we're checking out. Thank you for tuning in. The 95 Trucking Podcast is here, baby. Watch out. Expect the next episode 3 next week.
Yay! Have a good night, guys.